Sinabihan ako ni Bato na may basbas yan sa taas at ang ibig sabihin nito ay alam ito ni Presidente Rodrigo Duterte.
Mr. Chair, itong binanggit na may basbas sa taas, ano po itong aksyon na binasbasan di umano ni former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa?
Yung pagdiin kay Laila de Lima at yung mga patayan na nangyari noong nakaraan administrasyon.
At pinapanindigan po ninyo na maliban kay PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, maging yung dating presidente na si Rodrigo Duterte, alam niya rin yung ganun?
Siguro sa sarili kong opinion na siguro alam niya yon.
Okay, Mr. Chair, nabanggit din kanina ni Ginoong Kerwin Espinosa nung hiningan siya ng mensahe para kay former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa. Ang sabi po niya ay magbago na daw ang dating PNP Chief na di porket hindi kaalyado ay gagawan ng mga kwento na ikakasira ng kanilang buhay. Kung standing po ang inyong ganong mensahe na magbago siya, edi tingin niyo po ba ay hindi pa rin siya nagbabago ngayon? Kasi hindi naman na po siya PNP Chief. Ngayon po ay nakaupo siya sa Senado. Pero bagamat iba na po yung kanyang posisyon, tingin po ba ninyo ay yung ganong katangian niya noong PNP Chief siya, dala pa rin niya hanggang ngayon?
No comment ako sa tanong na yan. Kasi hindi ko hawak ang isip at puso niya.
Mr. Chair, dahil galing din po iyon sa mensahe ninyo kanina, nagkaroon kayo ng ganitong mga karanasan involving former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, ilang mga taon na po yun nakalipas after mangyari iyon, pero nung hiningan kayo ng mensahe, ganun po ang inyong mga nasabi, na may ganun siyang dapat baguhin sa kanyang katangian.
Siguro may nakita ako sa kanyang sarili na ganun pa rin ang kanyang ginagawa. May sarili ko yung opinion. Sarili
Okay.
ko po yung opinion yun, your Mr. Chair.
Okay, igagalang po natin, Mr. Chair, kung yun yung opinion sa ngayon ni Ginoong Kerwin Espinosa. Next, Mr. Chair, didirect ko muna yung tanong ko sa National Union of People's Lawyers kasi nga, I think, recurring talaga na meron pong ginawa ang dating PNP Chief. Tanong po natin, trabaho po ba yon ng isang PNP Chief as part of law enforcement na actively kumilos para pilitin ang isang tao na mag-testify wrongly tungkol sa kanyang sarili at maging sa iba? Kasi po, tingin po natin kung ika-qualify po yon bilang isang krimen, papasok po yon sa pagtingin ko, Mr. Chair, ang tawag po doon technically, subornation of perjury. Ibig sabihin, kung perjury kasi, yung tao yung magde-decide na magsisinungaling siya under oath. Pero ito, Mr. Chair, isang tao na nasa kapangyarihan, pinilit niya, ginamit niya yung kapangyarihan niya para manakot, para piliting magsinungaling yung iba. At yun yung sa pagtingin ko, Mr. Chair, subornation of perjury. Pero galing mismo sa ating mga abogado, ano pong pagtingin ninyo doon? Bahagi po ba dapat yon ng law enforcement?
Mr. Chair, thank you. Thank you for the question. No, it's not a part of the job of a PNP chief or any public official for that matter. In fact, there could be anti-graft laws being violated here. Secondly, it's a crime in itself, Mr. Chair. The crime committed by then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa could be labeled as a grave coercion or even grave threats. In fact, it can, depending on the prosecution, on the DOJ, incriminatory machinations. Because he is actually compelling somebody with a threat to the life of that person to commit perjury, for that matter. With regard to subornation of perjury, there is, in fact, for the information of the committee, there is in fact a bill pending before Congress to penalize public officials who coerce other people to commit the crime of subornation of perjury. But that is a bill, so in case the committee is going to entertain in aid of legislation bills, then this is one of the bills that they can, of course, pass after this Congress, Mr. Chair.
So, Mr. Chair, dahil ang ating deliberations din naman, isa sa mga gusto natin talaga, well, primarily ay para mag-come up tayo sa mas magagandang mga batas. So, ngayon, technically, kung perjury lang, ito ay matuturing na isang krimen. Pero yung subornation of perjury, under our current laws, hindi pa siya krimen. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Not yet. It's not in the... There was previous law, but I think it was repealed by the revised penal code. So, papasok na lang yon sa grave coercion if you compel somebody to do something against his or her will, using threats against the life of the person, etc. And, of course, grave coercion, grave threats. And as I mentioned, possible violation of the anti-graft laws, not to mention incriminatory machinations if need be.
So, with that, Mr. Chair, I think we should really take note of what was mentioned, grave coercion, tsaka ang anti-graft laws, while in our efforts to come up with better legislation, yung pwedeng bill no, doon sa subornation of perjury, Mr. Chair. Kasunod, Mr. Chair, ito, mas natalakay kasi ito sa Committee on Human Rights led by our Chair, Chairman Abante, na dati na bring up na natin yung Command Memorandum Circular 16 Series of 2016 na pirmado din mismo ni former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, na kung saan ay instead na maghanap talaga ng mga ebidensya bago mag-file ng mga warrant, ang nangyayari ay pamimilit, pananakot. So maging yung ginawa ni former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, batay doon sa affidavit ni Kerwin Espinosa, ito ba ay consistent doon sa ano yung layunin at ano yung esensya ng CMC 16 2016? Kasi doon pala nakita na natin yung mga flaws sa memorandum na yon, na magdudulot talaga siya ng mga samot-saring paglabag at pag-abuso sa mga kababayan natin. So maging yung ganong ginawa, would that fall under the scope of that CMC for us to say na liable din yung pumirma doon sa CMC na yon? Can we get a comment from the NUPL?
Mr. Chair, if I may be allowed to answer. Again, Command Memorandum Circular 2016-11 does not mention illegal acts. It only asks the police to knock on people's doors and ask them to surrender. We have a particular question about the term neutralization, which we have pointed out prior during the House Committee on Human Rights hearings, that neutralization seems to have been interpreted by the police as an instruction to kill, neutralize drug personalities. As regards trumped-up charges and so forth, perhaps it could also fall within that framework, but outright violation of the law is not in the letter of the Command Memorandum Circular. It is in the implementation of the circular that has been very problematic.